Welcome to my YouTube channel Helping in Charity. I am Aishwari. In this video, we are going to discuss about how to create fresh water by evaporation. So, before that, we should know how precious water is and how water originated in Earth. It was originated 4.6 billions of years ago. Okay, at the time of Big Bang theory. So, we all know that water is a molecule of hydrogen, two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen in the ratio 2:1. This is present 71% of the Earth's surface, in which ocean covers 96.5% of all the water present in Earth. When we compare all the water present in our Earth as a bucket full of water, only 1 spoon of water is the fresh water that we can use, and which are present as glaciers, ice caps, rivers, ponds, etc. Only of 1.2% of this water is available for us, and which we are causing a lot of damages
each and
to the
every
earth.
spheres of the earth, like in the air, like in the atmosphere, in the land, and in the water. It lead to a lot of ecological crises like the environmental pollution, then global warming, then we can say that land degradation, etc. So we have a lot of pollution now, right? Noise pollution, land pollution, air pollution, water pollution. So when it comes to water pollution, we are dumping, as we can say, as the geological cycle of earth, it evolves, it get evolution, that is the river, ponds, etc. are the veins of earth, right? So their evolution starts from the mountain and it ends in the sea. So that is the geological cycle. As we are interfering in each and every sphere and each and every cycle of the earth, we are causing a lot of damages and pollution to the water, right? In aquatic animals are being suffered because of us, and we have damaged a lot. So when we are dumping, we are using a lot of plastics now, and we are dumping this to the rivers, and we are ending in the dumping as a millions of plastic waste, that is one time use plastic things has been dumped in the oceans, rivers, ponds, etc. So this leads to water pollution, and see, during monsoons we get heavy rains, so at that time the rivers get inundated, and these things blocks the flow of water, and it does not reaches the ocean at the correct time. We can say that not in a correct cycle. During the summer season, this water gets evaporated as per the monsoon, so it becomes like a dump of it's like a plastic dump. The rivers becomes. As for us, the rivers are the best. In our list, there is a new pollution, that is the space pollution. It's also known as space debris, space junk, then space waste, space trash, space garbage, etc. It is a defunct human-made objects in space, principally in the Earth orbit, which no longer serve a useful function. These include derelict spacecraft, non-functional spacecraft, and abandoned launch vehicle stages, mission-related debris, and particularly numerous in Earth orbit, fragmentations debris from the breakup of derelict rocket bodies and spacecraft. In addition to derelict human-built objects left in the orbit, other examples of space debris include fragments from other disintegration, erosion, and collision, or even paint flecks, solidified liquids expelled from the spacecraft, and unborn particles from the solid rocket motors. Space debris represents a risk of spacecraft. Now we reach the conclusion of this video. So I want to disclose an idea, because we have two problems during the summer season and during the rainy season. On the summer season, we have a huge what we say need of water, but at that time the water availability is scarce. But on the other phase of this, that is on the rainy season, we have less demand on water, but at that time the water is so available for us, right? So we need a proper system for storing the fresh water and to distribute the stored water as well as the fresh water. So when it comes to our geological cycle of how rain happens, this comes like by evaporation. That is, it's a phenomena that the surface water change its state from liquid into water vapor and goes to the atmosphere where it cools down. When we that means it condenses and rains as water, and it come back to land, and we can use that is called the rain, and that we can use it as for our use. So that is how the water goes, the rain cycle goes, water cycle goes. So in this system, the only thing or the only principle used here is when it heats, the water changes its states and it goes up high and then it condenses and come back to the surface. ഞാൻ എന്താണ് ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചതെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഇവിടെ ജസ്റ്റ് ഒരു പ്രിൻസിപ്പിൾ, ഒരു സിമ്പിൾ പ്രിൻസിപ്പിളാണ് ഉപയോഗിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഒരു മോട്ടറോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഇലക്ട്രിസിറ്റിയോ സോഴ്സ് ഓഫ് എനർജി ഒന്നും ഉപയോഗിച്ചിട്ടില്ല. അതേ സമയത്ത് ഹീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് സർഫസിലുള്ള വാട്ടർ അതിൻ്റെ സ്റ്റേറ്റ്, ആ ഒരു ലിക്വിഡ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ്, അതായത് ലിക്വിഡായിട്ടുള്ള വാട്ടർ വേപ്പറായി ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ദെൻ മേലോട്ട് പോയി വീണ്ടും അത് കണ്ടൻസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അവിടെ കൂളിംഗ് ചെയ്ത ശേഷം അവിടെ നിന്ന് അത് വീണ്ടും വാട്ടറായിട്ട്, അതായത് ലിക്വിഡായിട്ട് താഴോട്ട് ലാൻഡിലോട്ട് വരുന്ന ഒരു പ്രിൻസിപ്പിളാണ് ഇവിടെ വർക്കൗട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ നമുക്ക് ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. എങ്ങനെ ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ പറ്റുമെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, സോ when it comes to an idea, that is a project, it's like we are going to evaporate, we are going to heat this water, or the river water is getting evaporated and it goes to some height. So at that place we are going to condense it, and through a tube we are going to pass this water or the evaporated water from the ocean. That is, the most of the evaporation is taking place from the large surface ocean. So when the ocean's water get evaporated, we are going to condense it, and through a pipe we are going to transport this water or the evaporated water into a tank where it gonna condense, and it is gonna be conserved in that tank. Then it through a pipe we are going to let it go. So as the pressure, that is water moves from high pressure to low pressure, so this tank is going to be kept a little bit high so that it can go as the pressure stops, until the pressure stops of that tank. Okay, so the river or the water that got condensed now is allowed to go through this pipe. So here is the tank. Through the pipe it is going through by the pressure. Then when the pressure stops, we are going to again evaporate, or we are going to again apply the heat by a device. So it goes high by the evaporation, because the water vapor has high kinetic energy, so it goes up and let it move through another pipe, and there is a device over there which cools it. Then again it is going to be conserved in a tank. So this is going to be a cycle, and all the things are not gonna be in a chain. Everything would be in a cluster. This cycle would be in a cluster. As we are being divided into panchayats and small units, we are going to make them as clusters, but it is gonna be integrated. There are two advantages of this. We can store water. As we all know that photosynthesis, plants respire as like us. That is, they takes in oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide, but during the morning they get the sunlight, which is the cooking which is a fuel for photosynthesis, right? So in the presence they make food. So during that they takes up the carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen as a byproduct, not a byproduct, as a waste product. They are giving out oxygen, and that oxygen we are taken. And during night there is no sunlight, so they don't have any provision to make their own food. So what at that time they respire as like us. So the same is gonna be happen during the sunlight, or during the morning we get light, so the evaporation takes place, but on the night we don't have any sunlight, so we don't get so let it vapor, let it be as gas, let it be as a water vapor during the morning. Then during the night, when there is no sunlight, it condenses and can be stored in a tank. If you didn't watch my video about the 10,000 feet tank that gonna preserve the water during the rainy season, that we get a heavy amount of water, so we can use this water and conserve it in a 10,000. If you didn't watch the video, go and look and catch my that video. Second advantage of this system is we get the purified water. So the advantage is that when the water changes its state from liquid to water vapor, only the water goes high, not the germs, any impurities in it. It does not go high, only the water goes. So in each time when we are
vaporizing it, this is going to be purified one more time. So again and again we are going to purify this, right? So we get the purified water. Whenever we takes the water, it is pakka clear and it want to be pakka pure.